What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends Ghost Rider from Hasbro's first ever Marvel Legends Rider series. And this is really exciting. This is the first time that we've seen Hasbro give us any kind of vehicles for Marvel figures, and they started off with an obvious choice in Ghost Rider, and I'm not mad at that. I'm very excited actually. So let's get right into the packaging here. The packaging is the same style as a regular Marvel Legends figure. It's just a lot bigger to fit the motorcycle obviously, but it opens up the same way. It's collector friendly. You can take the figure out, put it back in, whatever you'd like, and the figure looks cool in there along with his motorcycle, so that's very nice. And then on the side you have some nice looking artwork, and then on the back you get a look at the figure, a little character description, and then right here on the side you're able to see some of the other things that the motorcycle could do besides just hang out with its flames. So the packaging is cool and everything. I'm a big fan of the collector friendly aspect, but let's get right into the figure. So the figure itself is pretty much just a re-release of the previous Ghost Rider figure, so I'm sure everybody is familiar with the articulation setup, but still I want to run through it just in case anybody has any questions. For the head, you're able to get it to go side to side, and there isn't any neck joint, so all the movement comes from the head on the ball joint itself. So you're able to get it to look up to about there. You can get it to look down to about there. And there's a lot of tilt to it, so it's really nice, even though it doesn't have the neck joint. And then you also have jaw articulation, which is very cool. And then you have the nice ab crunch on this body. Check that out. Goes forward about that much, comes back about that much. And then you have the waist swivel. And then you have ball jointed shoulders, but his shoulders kind of get thick towards the top, so it kind of gets tight when you bring it all the way up, but they go to about there. And then obviously they go all the way around. You have the upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You have a swivel at the wrist and a hinge at the wrist. And then for his legs, you could kind of get them to go out to the side to about there. You could get them to go back just a little bit, but you could get it to kick forward a really nice amount. Check that out. Kicks almost all the way up. That's really nice. Then you have upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees. There's no lower leg swivel, which is kind of strange. I think they could have fit it right here in the boot, but it's not there. And then for his foot, you're able to get them to go down a very nice amount. Check that out. And then you could bring them up to about there. Then you have rocking ankles, but there is no swivel at the foot either, but it's all good. Doesn't bother me too much. So like I said, you should be pretty much familiar with this body if you collect Marvel Legends. It's the same body that we've seen on two different Star-Lord figures, the AIM Agent, the other Ghost Rider figure, and Spider-Man Noir. But it's a really cool body. It's one of my favorite Marvel Legends bucks, I guess that you could say. And I think they put it to good use so far. And Ghost Rider pretty much only comes with one accessory besides the main attraction that we'll get to in a second. But he comes with this awesome looking chain with like a flame effect at the end of it. It's really nice. Check that out. And he could hold it really good. It stays in his hand. You don't have to worry about it falling out. But check that out. It looks really nice. I love the flame effect right here. Looks awesome. The chain itself kind of looks kind of plasticky. It would have kind of benefited from some black wash, but it doesn't look horrible or anything. I am happy with it, but yeah, just overall it looks really awesome. This is something that the original release really lacked. He only had the chain that kind of went across his chest. He didn't have any kind of chain or weapon that he could hold, but yeah, this is awesome. I love this. And then of course he comes with this awesome looking motorcycle. So I really love what Hasbro did with this motorcycle. They kind of gave you options because you could like change the way it looks. Check it out here. You could take this piece off, and then you have just like a traditional motorcycle headlight, and then you could take the flames off, and they're just held on there with the pegs. As you could see there, it just pegs onto there, so that's really nice. But yeah, check it out. And then back here, the flames are pegged on here, and a piece of it kind of sticks into the exhaust pipe. It's kind of hard to see there, but there's a little piece that sticks into the exhaust pipe to hold it on there, and then as well as a peg up here that kind of keeps it together onto the fender there. But yeah, that's awesome. Check that out. So you know, you could keep it displayed for, you could keep it on all that stuff, the flames on there for Ghost Rider, but then you could take it all off if you like and put some other characters on there. So check it out. Then you just have like a regular looking motorcycle, except for this flame here. That flame doesn't come off, so that's kind of funny. But yeah, the rest of it just looks like a regular motorcycle, and I think that's great that they did that. That's awesome. Check that out. I mean, obviously you still have the yellow wheels, so it doesn't look like a straight up regular motorcycle, but I mean, it's close enough. You could throw your Wolverine on there. The upcoming Days of Future Past Wolverine would look pretty cool on there. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's take a closer look at the details on this motorcycle. The one thing that kind of stood out as negative to me is the paint applications in this area. You could see that there isn't much at all really. It's just kind of molded gray and it's just all gray. But see, the sculpting is really nice, so if they would have put some paint in there, it would have looked amazing. It still looks pretty cool, but you know, it just has a plastic kind of look to it. But yeah, it looks cool. And the tire here has like it's like a soft plastic or rubber. I guess it's rubber you could say, but it spins pretty freely and it kind of glides smooth. And yeah, check it out here. You got a kickstand at the bottom, which is really nice, so you don't have to worry about it falling over. And the gas tank has some really nice paint applications. You have the blue stripe there, but then the tank itself has like a metallic blue look to it. It's kind of hard to see, but it's definitely there. But yeah, it looks very cool. Check it out. The spokes are sculpted nice. The spokes here actually look like they have more of a metallic look than the rest of it. So that's really nice. Let's try to flip this around real quick, see what we got going on over here. Yeah, that's cool. Look at that. And you can see the screws. That kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. And here's a closer look at the front of the Ghost Rider part of the motorcycle, and check that out. That looks great. Again, it has like a plasticky look to it, but it's okay. It doesn't look horrible. And it's cool. The way this pops on is really, really simple. You just kind of stick it over the motorcycle light and it sticks on there. And they really did a nice job on all these flames. I like the way that it has like a darker orange towards the top and it kind of gets lighter towards the bottom. And same thing on the back here. You've got like the darker orange at the end of the flames and then the lighter yellow here towards the center and towards the end. Right here it kind of gets dark again, but look at that. That looks awesome. I love this translucent flame effect, the flame effect that they use for the flames here. It looks awesome. Check that out. Yeah, this bike is really cool. It's a shame about the paint right here though. I hate to bring it up again because I'm not trying to be negative. I really like this thing, but I think that kind of hurts it. The paint right here would have taken it to the next level, but I'm sure that's an easy task for a customizer, so they could get in there and make it look crazy. But yeah, check it out. That's super dope. And here's a quick look at how all the flames come on and off. They're really easy. They're all just pegged together, as you could see. That there's a peg right there, and it just pegs into the flame, and then there's a peg on the inside of the flame here. It's very hard to see, but it's right in there. And then there's a hole in the exhaust pipe, and that flame just goes right in there. And then the flame piece right in here is hooked, so it snaps onto the little pipe there, and then that piece pegs in, and it's good. And it's very cool. It sticks right on there. You don't have to worry about it falling off. The pegs on the top here are pretty tight, so you got to squeeze them to get them to stay on there, but they definitely stay on. And yeah, I was worried that these, when I opened the packaging, the flames kind of fell all over the place. They're just being held together by rubber bands, and I got kind of worried and thought that these things weren't going to really stick on there, but they do hold together surprisingly well, so that's a very good thing on this motorcycle, so I'm very happy about that. And just for a couple quick size comparisons, here he is next to the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man and Marvel Legends Bucky Cap. And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends Toy Biz Danny Ketch Ghost Rider and the Toy Biz Vengeance. And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Man-Thing and the Marvel Legends Blade. And then here he is next to the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Werewolf by Night and Marvel Legends Zombie. And here's a quick look at the Ghost Rider figure from the Marvel Legends Rhino Build-A-Figure wave on the motorcycle. And it looks pretty cool. I think it'd look a little bit better if the motorcycle was all black or if it was like painted chrome or something like that, but with these colors it kind of matches with the Ghost Rider that it came with, so it still looks cool like this, but I think it'd look a little bit better if the motorcycle was repainted. So, and here's a quick look at a couple other characters on the motorcycle. I really think that a lot of people are going to want to buy this set just for the motorcycle, possibly repaint it. I think it's going to look really cool with other Marvel Legends figures. Obviously it's going to scale perfectly. And but yeah, let's look at a couple different characters. Here's Bucky Cap hanging out on the motorcycle. Here's Old Man Logan. And here's the Mezco Modern Captain America, and I think he looks awesome on there. If the wheels were black, then I think it'd be perfect. And then here's the Mezco X-Force Deadpool hanging out on the motorcycle. So as you can see, I think it'll work really nice with a lot of different 6-inch figures. And here's a quick look at the new Ghost Rider next to the Ghost Rider from the Rhino Build-A-Figure wave. And they're pretty much the same figure except for the paint, and the new one does not come with this chain. But I like the paint on the new one. I think it's more accurate to the classic Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider, and I love the way that they did the skull on this one a lot better than the way they did the skull on this one. I was never a big fan of the clear kind of skull thing that they did here. This one looks more like has like a more bone effect, and it looks more like realistic and stuff. It looks very, very cool. This one does look cool too, but I don't know, I just don't like the clear skull thing. It kind of reminds me of the old Ghost Rider toys from the 90s. I don't know if anyone remembers those, but actually I love those, but you know, for Marvel Legends, I want it to look better, and I think that the bone looks kind of looks a lot better. And here's a closer look at the two head sculpts together. As you can see, the new one looks a lot better. It looks like scarier, looks more realistic. This one just kind of looks like a piece of plastic. And I kind of like the way they did the eyes a little bit better, how it's just kind of dark. There is a red dot you could see on the inside, and those red dots are kind of weird looking, but you can't really notice them. I like the way it just kind of looks dark. On this one, it kind of looks more lit up and crazy. But yeah, there's a look at that. That's going to be the main difference in these two figures. And I think a lot of people are going to take the head sculpt from the new one and pop it onto the old one. And here's a look at how that looks if anyone's interested. And I think the new head looks awesome on the old body. It makes this figure a lot better to me. And the old head looks pretty cool on the new body as well. But yeah, you know, definitely this new head is better. And for the details on the figure itself, I think it has everything that it needs, but there's no real big surprises because we're very familiar with this body sculpt. But that's okay, I think it works perfect for Ghost Rider. I do love what they did with the head here, like I mentioned before. I think the bone looks awesome, and you could also see inside of the eyes, there's little red dots. Mine aren't really even, but it's okay because you can't really even see them. But it looks very cool. Again, I love the flame effect. Looks very nice. And then you got some blue, you got the light blue, you know, detailing here, and then the dark blue for the suit itself. And yeah, it just looks great. You got the belt in here that looks nice. And like I said before, I really like this body. I was really excited when we started to see this body come out. I especially liked it on Star-Lord, but it works perfectly for Ghost Rider too. And most of the paint on mine is pretty good. There's a couple little spots that weren't very clean, like on the collar. It doesn't look as clean as I would like, but you know, not a big deal. I saw three different Ghost Riders, and all of them had pretty decent paints. I mean, they had small imperfections, but nothing that, you know, that I couldn't live with or that I felt I'd have to retouch or anything. Just slight little imperfections, you know. But yeah, overall, he looks very cool. So overall, I'm very happy with this set. I think that Hasbro did a really nice job on the motorcycle. I do think it could have been a little bit better if there was some paint on the motor itself, but it's not a huge deal. It still really looks great, especially with all the flames on there. And I do love the way the flames look. I think they really did a nice job on the flame effect. And it's very cool how the flames could come off and then you have just like a regular motorcycle that you could use with your other Marvel Legends figures. That's awesome to have those options. And then for the figure itself, I think it's a big improvement over the Rhino Build-A-Figure Wave Ghost Rider. I think some people might disagree and they might like that one more because of the darker costume, but I myself like the lighter blue because it kind of reminds me of the old Johnny Blaze comic books and stuff, and it has just like a more classic feel to it. But yeah, I really like the way what they did with the head sculpt, and I love the way that it looks more like a skull now, not just like a piece of plastic. So that's a huge improvement for me, and I love that they included the chain with the flame effect. I think that's awesome too. So I was very surprised that that didn't come with the original release. So I'm very happy to see that it came with this one. And I only picked up this one for now. I didn't pick up Black Widow, even though she does look cool. But I think I'm just going to hold off on that one for now until she hits stores. I'm not sure how much these things are going to be in stores. It kind of seems like they're going to be a little bit more expensive than I thought. It sounds like they're going to be around $50. I don't know if that's what they'll cost once they hit Targets and Walmarts and stuff. But right now, like at comic book shops and online stores, it looks like that's the price that they're charging right now. And so we'll see if that changes. But it is a very cool set. It's just crazy to think that back in the Toy Biz days, we were able to get a Ghost Rider with a Ghost Rider Hell Cycle, motorcycle, whatever you want to call it, all in one package for $10. And you know, I realize times have changed. I don't expect these things to be cheap anymore, but I was just a little surprised that it was about $50. It's kind of, you know, more expensive than two figures at retail anyways. But, you know, I don't regret buying it. It's a really cool figure. When I did buy the figure, the gentleman I bought it from hooked me up with the retro Spider-Man for only $7, so it kind of made it easier to pay $50 for this set. So that was very cool of him. And speaking of that, I want to give him a shout out. Make sure to check out the ToyNinja website. He's the guy that I buy a lot of stuff from. He always gets stuff early and he always hooks me up. So he's a great dude to buy from. And, you know, I've always had good experiences with him. So I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check out his website and be sure to do that. And what are some other characters you think that Hasbro should do like this? I think it'd be awesome if they did a Johnny Blaze not as Ghost Rider with the motorcycle, like just a classic looking Harley or whatever, and just Johnny Blaze with the trench coat and his crazy, you know, glasses and long hair, 90s style or late 80s style, whatever it was. I think it'd be really cool to get that Johnny Blaze, but we'll see. Let me know what characters you think that they should do like this with vehicles and what kind of vehicles they should come with. But yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And thank you very much. Peace.